Where'd my mouse go? Okay. Welcome, everyone. Good to see you all. Seems to be a few smiling faces. That's a good sign. Okay. Well, Mike, as our resident mandala offerer, please offer the mandala.
Thank you. Good morning. Sashi Puki Jukshin Me Tok Trum Rirabling Shi Ninde Genpadi Sangye Shingdu Mikte Owargi Jokun Namdak Shingla Drupar Shok Idam Guru Radnamandalakam Niryatayami.
Manuela, can you give us the refuge?
May I please make it in German?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Ich nehme Zuflucht bei Buddha, Dharma und der höchsten Sangha, bis ich Erleuchtung erlange. Durch die Kraft der guten Dinge, die ich tue, durch das Geben und alles andere, möge ich ein Buddha werden, um jedem Lebewesen helfen zu können. Ich suche Zuflucht bei Buddha, Dharma und der höchsten Sangha, bis ich Erleuchtung erlange. Durch die Kraft der guten Dinge, die ich tue, durch das Geben und alles andere, möge ich ein Buddha werden, um jedem Lebewesen helfen zu können. Ich suche Zuflucht bei Buddha, Dharma und der höchsten Sangha, bis ich Erleuchtung erlange. Durch die Kraft der guten Dinge, die ich tue, durch das Geben und alles andere, möge ich ein Buddha werden, um jedem Lebewesen helfen zu können.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Need to turn the volume up a little bit here. Okay. Well, let's start with you, Manuela, on rejoicing.
So I rejoice that a friend of mine, she is selbstständig. She's an entrepreneur, and she's want to make her project now visible, her business now visible, and I'm helping her with her website. And I'm really rejoicing this fact because I didn't know how to do a website, and I really make everything, just read it and try to figure out the things. And it's not already done, but I have a good time management, so I hope I will get it done in the next 7 days. And I'm rejoicing to make her project visible, to bring her project into the world. Yeah.
What's the project?
She is like she's helping people with stress and other issues, mental health issues, and she's doing really good things in the nature, like walking with the clients through the woods and to the fields and helping her with the nature. And I really like this project. Yeah.
Oh, good, good. A good project to be working on. Dedicate that to the help you need in your future as you grow older or whatever. Okay.
Yeah,
Daria, what do you have to rejoice in besides being in the Alps somewhere?
It's my dream. I rejoice. Today I can wake up. I did exercise, and we did a sojourn twice with some people, and I rejoice. I can help. This is practice. And I rejoice see all people.
Well, we rejoice in seeing you. Good. Okay, who's next? My lovely interpreter, what do you have to share as a rejoice?
Hello, everyone. Hello, Venerable Sumati. I am rejoicing that I'm able to interpret today
Oh,
and to spread the Dharma any way I can.
very good. Very powerful. Very powerful. Make sure to dedicate that so you can have that ripen in the near and distant future. I am in awe of anybody who can translate. I have a brother-in-law that can speak 6 languages. 6 languages. I can barely speak one. And those who've heard me try Spanish just laugh. So I'll work on that. Okay, Anna, you're up next. You're up. Anna, you're rejoicing?
Yes, hello, dear Venerable Sumati. I am in Russian channel. I am recording the class in Russian, so I am waiting when interpreter.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
So about my rejoicing today, early in the morning, somebody in the chat of my residential area that small girl, 8 years old, needs some warm clothes, and I started to think about how I can help. I do not have children, so I don't have clothes, and so a lot of people replied, and this question was solved in very short time. So I'm glad about my neighbors that I live around kind people. Thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I'm sure the young lady was and her parents are very appreciative of the help. And doing that, very powerful. That'll help you get what you need in the future. So be sure to dedicate it. Okay, Mike.
Good morning. I would like to rejoice about today. We're going to have the Mixed Nuts Translating Cataloging class, and I have been assigned the task of getting the Thai food. So I've collected everyone's order, and I'm placing the order for the food, and I will set it up, and I will get to serve food to the Sangha and hopefully to Geshe-la, and yeah, and I want to dedicate that all people have enough to eat and are taken care of in that way.
Very good. Very good. I sent out the first invitations for our anniversary party, and I've gotten one reply. They're very interested. So we're keeping moving on that. Okay. Next in my line is Lydia.
Hello, Delam Sumati. Hello, everybody. I'm rejoicing that yesterday we have Sajong with you, Holy Lama. It's very precious for me. And I'm rejoicing that after this Sajong, my day started from meditation. And I see the difference if I have meditation in the morning or if I have no. So it's very precious to me. Thank you very much for your time, for your help. It's very precious. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, dedicate that all beings understand that meditation is an important part of their Dharma practice, and to see to see the difference in your day is wonderful. That's very powerful. Okay, Svetlana.
Hello, dear Venerable Sumati. Hello, everyone. In my rejoicing, I would like to combine like homework question. It was about what makes us the most frustrated and my efforts. The most frustrated thing was about money, and I after like I started to plant seeds of generosity because it's like my past karma, but I can change it from the current moment, so I can change. And today after work, I went to the shop and bought cookies, which my colleague likes. Also, I paid for some charity subscription and decided not to postpone the payment and tried to come to work earlier and yeah, and send some small amount to close person. Yeah, so I'm trying to cultivate generous attitude and dedicate that we all can be successful in our Dharma practice and create happy world.
Excellent. Let me hang on for a minute. I need to shut my door. So I'll be right back. Okay. Very good. Very good. Well, as we discussed yesterday at Sojung, renunciation is a huge first step. And I think all of us can easily review how far we are along on our renunciation path. And that might be a very good thing to do. And thank you for reminding me about my homework question. As usual, I forgot about it. So we'll ask, if I remember, we'll ask that at the beginning of class. Okay, Katja, you're up.
Hi, I want to rejoice that on Friday was Alexa's birthday, and she's from the Guadalajara Sangha, and we celebrate her birthday at Casa Tartuk with a very beautiful meditation and sharing beautiful moments. And it was a celebration where we were all friends from this lineage, so it was really fun and with a lot of wisdom and a different party. So I'm very happy about that, and I dedicate it so that all beings can have valuable friends.
Well, very nice. That must have been sweet. My lovely wife and I were able to give a teaching at the Tartuk Center. It's quite special. And once we got the elevator figured out, but it's very nice space, very nice teaching space. So excellent. Okay, who's next? Tatiana. Oh, maybe she can't join.
Я могу, здравствуйте, поговорить. Я без камеры.
I can speak, but
Добрый
without a
вечер.
camera today.
Вам,
Okay.
Сумати. Добрый вечер.
Hello, Venerable
Дорогие
Sumati. Good evening,
однокурсники.
everyone. My
Я
fellow students.
вдохновилась рассказами
I
и
was
хочу
inspired
поделиться
with all your
тремя
rejoicing,
радостями.
and I would like to share three things that I rejoice
Первая
about.
радость, я иду вровень, как запланировала, и сегодня я сдаю 4-ю контрольную работу 11-го курса.
I'm
Будьте
doing
довольны
as my schedule, as I planned, I'm doing my 4th homework today. Everything is going as
Вторая
planned.
радость
Second thing I'm
это
rejoicing
семена
about,
соединения.
it is
Я помогаю
seeds of
техническим
connecting.
переводом
I am helping with a technical
итальянского и
translation
французского.
from
Помогаю
French and
переводить
Italian.
тексты
I'm helping
курса
to
ACI.
translate ACI texts.
И третье,
And the
это
third,
вот сейчас я маме готовила на ужин
I was
французский коктейль,
I was
который
cooking
через
my mom a
Казахстан
French cocktail
привезли к нам в Таганрог,
that has been brought from
чтобы она была
Kazakhstan to
здорова.
Taganrog for her to be healthy.
Very good.
Спасибо.
So you speak 3 languages?
Нет, к сожалению, я очень слабо владею
No,
французским
my French
и
is
вообще не
not as
владею
good,
итальянским.
and I
Это
don't speak
технический
Italian
перевод. Я
Italian as
сажаю
well.
семена.
It is a technical translation. I'm just planting seeds.
Oh, okay.
Har-
Okay. Well, who's
Спасибо.
left? Oh, me.
Thank you.
Let's see, what was I going to rejoice? I had something I was going to rejoice about specifically. What was it? Rejoice. Oh, I know what it was. Starting February 1, which was yesterday, I'm going to make even greater efforts to get up and get my practice done in the morning instead of putting it off and getting it done hurriedly. I've got a lot to do, and I've realized if I'm teaching that practice comes first, I've got to follow that. So practice is always first, exercise is second, and getting ready for the next class is third. So I rejoice in that. That's a big step for me because I didn't think I was a procrastinator, but it turns out in my older age, I'm starting to be like when I was a kid. So we got that under control now. Had a good sit this morning, and I'm going to do my exercise after class. So thank you all for the encouragement and what you're doing to get me back online. So yay. What else? Oh, my wife's had real trouble with her internet for quite a while. It's very unstable. And so we looked into it last night and we were trying to solve the problem. It looked like it might be the line that's in the wall. And for some reason, I checked the back of the router and the plug was barely plugged in. It hadn't snapped in. So that's why could be why she was getting unstable internet because the connection wasn't good. So we plugged it back in and we tested it. And she got the little indicator on her screen that says she has internet, Ethernet. So I haven't had a chance to talk to her yet this morning to see if it helped, but I'm pretty embarrassed that I couldn't. One of my mechanics always said, when you have a problem in a car, like let's say you think your alternator is bad, don't go get a new alternator. Go to the very beginning of the chain of things that happen with an alternator, which is the battery, and see if it's the battery. That's easy to replace. So I didn't remember that until I saw this loose end barely plugged in and realized from now on, when I troubleshoot something, go to the source, not the endpoint. But I'm hoping that was her problem solved. Otherwise, it's your computer, and that's dicey because she doesn't want to replace her computer. She really doesn't want to replace her computer. I mean, really. When I mention a Windows 11 computer, she makes a sign of the cross. I'm the devil. So, okay. So let me get this little thing off the screen in front of me. And I'm going to take a bathroom break, so I will be right back. Okay. So let's see. Class. I need to share. And I need to decide what screen. And here we go. Okay. Everybody see screen? Yep. Okay.
Yes, we can see. Thank you.
Joyous Effort, Part 1. They normally take an entire year in the monastery to teach the patience chapter, so we went through it quickly. Reread it often. At the end of class, I think I urged this, but I'm going to say it now. I really urge you to get a copy of the Guide to Bodhisattva's Way of Life. It's really a tremendous book, and it's a source of inspiration, source of quotes for when you teach, and you're all going to be teachers, I know. So get a copy. It can be used, doesn't have to be anything fancy. I happen to like Stephen Batchelor's first edition, but that's just me. Okay. Now, another thing I recommend, if you have a scanner, if you own a copy of the book, I've been told by publishers that you can scan it, even though the front of it says not to be scanned. Because if you own it, you've paid the royalty to the author. They've been compensated, but you can't give away the scan to anybody that doesn't own a copy of that same edition. So if you can find and buy a copy of Stephen Batchelor's first edition, it's got a light blue cover and a statue of, I believe it's Tara on the front. If you can find a copy of that and show me that you have it, I can give you a scan, and it's very useful for looking things up. So, okay. Our first contemplation. Once you've practiced patience, begin your practice of effort, for enlightenment lies in making these kinds of effort. Without a breeze, they never flicker, and just so, in the absence of effort, merit can never occur. So what is this? Without a breeze, nothing flickers. This is referring to the inner ones moving in the channels of our inner body. More specifically, it is stating that without the perfection of joyous effort, you cannot collect merit. We mentioned the two collections last class when talking about the bodies of the Buddha. The collection of merit, and that's the perfection of giving, ethics, and patience, and that gives you the Rupakaya. And the collection of wisdom is meditation, wisdom, the Dharmakaya. So without joyous effort, you can't get this collection of these two sets of things necessary to become a Buddha. So really work on the joyous effort aspect, even if you don't like your job. Rejoice in the fact that you have a job. Rejoice in the fact that you know if you want to get a better job or a different job, you need to set the seeds for it. And then do it. I was fortunate enough, and I keep saying this, but I really was fortunate to have jobs that I couldn't get up early enough and stay late enough. And the culmination of that attitude was Diamond Mountain. When we left Tucson to move to Diamond Mountain, when we thought about it, we thought, well, we'll buy or rent a house in Bowie, which is about 12 miles away. and then drive down every day to go to work. And I thought to myself, if you're in Bowie and you get a call, are you going to go in the middle of the night to fix someone's flat tire? Well, maybe, but that's a 15-minute drive. So we said, let's live at Diamond Mountain. Then it's just a matter of getting out of bed, getting dressed, and going to help. And that was a huge, huge decision for us. It was financially a difficult one because we had to pay for the construction of a house, but it was worth every penny. So for those of you that don't know, what's called Menla House at Diamond Mountain, my lovely wife and I built and lived in for many years. Gyaltsen commentary gives a profound explanation of the meaning of these concepts. So here we go. Briefly stated in the highest secret teachings, it's taught that without wind, there cannot be any movement of the fire necessary to create the body and mind of a Buddha. So how does joyous effort have any effect in turning you into a totally enlightened being? First of all, we need all 6 perfections perfected on our path to Buddhahood. So who can give me the first perfection?
Perfection of giving.
Correct. Material things, protection, love and compassion. I add compassion. I think it's compassion. It's one of those two. I add as a perfection of giving. And then obviously the Dharma. Which one's the most powerful of the ones of those 3 or 4? Giving the Dharma.
Dharma.
Yeah, giving the Dharma. Okay, whoops, I was going to ask somebody for moral discipline. Oh, well. Stopping being to rationalize or overlook doing something wrong or harmful. This is the karma, it's my karma, but that's rationalization. It's my karma, but in this case, it's not really my karma, so I can do what I want. That's rationalizing. And as a young man, before I got married, I rationalized a lot, and nothing terrible, but I just could convince myself to do things that maybe I didn't quite have the money for. I'll never forget when I moved to Madison. I graduated from University of California, Riverside in Southern California, and I moved to Madison, Wisconsin to go to graduate school. And I needed to buy a refrigerator. I only had $1,200 to my name, and I moved to Wisconsin. So I wanted to buy a refrigerator, and I bought one that I really couldn't afford. So I went back to the store the next day. Well, no, I think it was the same day. And I said, I can't afford this. I need my money back. And the salesman said, well, we can't give it to you back. And I thought to myself, what do you mean? The check's on your desk somewhere. So I raised my voice a little bit, and that got him to get my check. In hindsight, that was karmically not the smartest move on the planet, but at the time, I wasn't a Dharma student, and so it worked. It's ironic. We were in Madison, Wisconsin for 4.5 years, and nearby in Deer Park was a fantastic Dharma center. But we weren't Buddhists at the time, so we didn't know anything about it. It's just interesting. Okay, what's the next Perfection. I'm waiting.
Patience. It's patience.
Patience, correct. The art of not getting angry. What's the fourth one? A hint is what we're studying today.
Joyous effort.
Joyous effort, our current topic. That was very sly of me. How about number 5?
It's meditative concentration.
Right. And the last one?
And wisdom.
Perfection is understanding of emptiness. Now, something that I found very intriguing was the name. We're working on perfecting the perfections. That's the path or the recipe for bodhisattvas to get their enlightenment. But we can't perfect a perfection as a normal human being. We can only do that once we're a Buddha. So, as my wife puts it, she likes to coin new words. So she has a word called perfectionizer. It doesn't exist in the dictionary, to my knowledge, but so we're working hard. We're doing our best to get to the perfection. Joyous effort sits astride the two collections, serving to accelerate, catalyze the completion of the two collections. If and when we're able to collect an immense amount of good deeds, this will bring about our body of light, our Buddha body free of suffering. My current body is dying as we speak and has been since I was born. It's the nature of this type of body in this realm. By collecting goodness and working hard on collecting a large amount of it, I will attain the body of a Buddha. By collecting wisdom, I'll be able to achieve the omniscient mind of a totally enlightened being and all that that encompasses. Without joyous effort, you will not achieve the two collections. So if any of you have been hesitating on the culmination of reaching joyous effort, don't. You've got to develop joyous effort. So contemplation 2. What is joyous effort? It's joy at doing good. Well, that's pretty obvious. But how do we actually know that or do that? Trying hard is not the effort we mean in this context. Effort here means having fun doing good deeds, delight, pleasure, and attraction to goodness, because you truly, deep in your heart, enjoy doing them, enjoying what you're doing with enthusiasm. Now, that's hard in a lot of situations, particularly a job. If you're not particularly thrilled with the job you have, it's hard to get pumped up with it. But you're not going to get out of that job by whining about it. You're going to get out of that job by approaching it with joy and vigor and enthusiasm. And you'd be surprised what will happen if you do that. One, in my personal opinion, my personal experience, you can change the job around to be a huge asset to your practice. Because now it's not just, I got to go to work. It's, I get to go to work because I get to work with people and they trigger my buttons, and I get to work hard on not getting angry, or I get to work hard on joyous effort. So see, with the just thought of joyous effort in your mind, you can convert what was dull and mundane into a wonderful opportunity to practice your Dharma. Now, it's granted it'd be nice to have a nice job where you can do that and get paid better and enjoy your job. But You really have to. Well, let's see. There's a vow or a commitment where we make everyday situations a meditation on your success to become enlightened. So, for instance, the pharmacy job I had a bunch of people that thought they were very much smarter than I was, and that was I was 40 something. I'd been a PhD for 20 plus years. I was reasonably intelligent on many things, and a couple of graduate students were doing their postdoc work. One was from Yemen. And what I failed to understand in Yemen, if you have a PhD, you are one of the elite in that country. If you have a PhD in the United States, that's nice, but it's not like you're right up there at the top of the pecking order as a special citizen. Well, this one young man was a special citizen, and he thought everybody in the world should treat him like he was a special citizen. And that was hard for me to do until I took it upon myself as a practice. How do I work on my various perfections with this guy? And that changed it around. Now when I went into work, it was, how can I make this guy happy? What do I have to do to get that frown off his face? So we can work hard on anything and never achieve it because we don't have the right attitude. That's the other thing. The saying, one of my favorite sayings is, the surest way to puncture a pleasure is to over-anticipate its occurrence. Work hard and don't set your expectations low, but look for the positive. That's part of joyous effort. Look for the positive in what you're doing. You get to go get all the Thai food for mixed nuts. Well, that's a bit of a stretch. You have to make sure the order's right and they fill the order correctly. But you get to get food for the mixed nuts. Yay. So see how you can change. You can change the viewpoint into one of positive and joy instead of lethargy and obligation. That's true in family life. That's true in business life. That's true in running. Oh, I get to go run versus, oh God, I've got to run. I've got to train for my next marathon. I don't want to go run. Versus, well, let's go run. I'll go get Sheila and I'll see if I can't run circles around her today. I'm talking, Katya is a marathon runner, and she and her sister and her dad are marathon runners. How's your dad doing, by the way, Katya?
Hi, great. He's really good. Thank you.
Good. Oh, and thank you for volunteering to pick Sarani up when she comes down to visit. That's going to be a huge help.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to see her.
Yes. I get to see her every day. Lucky me. Okay. Let's see. Joyous effort is an attitude just like the rest of the perfections. The joy of doing Dharma practice, anything at all, is all that means. Not how hard you work, it is how much you enjoy the work. So digging trenches to put in water system, that was a lot of hard physical work. Unrolling 500 feet of plastic pipe up or downhill was a chore. But every time I did it, well, to see the face of the contractor that was building the first cabin that we had to get water to, it doesn't have water to it already. at Diamond Mountain, to see the look on Doug Vienhoff's face when I turned the handle on a faucet and water came pouring out of it, instead of having to lug it up the hill in containers. That was worth all the effort I'd put in to get it up to that cabin. It was truly amazing. Okay, I've talked about that so often enough, you're probably tired of hearing about it. But I'm not tired about talking about it, so. Some people would look at our Dharma practice, our need to do good deeds, as some sort of tax you pay to make progress in your spiritual goals. Instead, view them with joy, attack them with joyous effort. Contemplation 3. What stops joyous effort? Here I will explain the things that work against it. These are laziness, an attraction to that which is bad, and the feeling of being discouraged, belittling yourself. 3 obstacles to joyous effort. Laziness. Relaxing is one thing. Making a rule rather than an exception is another thing. It is a Bodhisattva activity to take care of yourself. You must, but you have to have maturity about it. Attracted to wrong deeds. So these would be the 10 non-virtues. It's about realizing that we could die at any minute. We will die, and using our time wisely. It's always a fine line, different for each of us. The point is to re-examine your fine line and redefine it. Now, I don't wake up in the morning and say to myself, I could die today. I don't do that. I probably should, but I don't. I could die today, so am I doing what I really want to do if that happens? Well, what I have done is taking the death meditation course. I teach that's one of my favorite courses. And that emphasizes getting your life in order so that if I was to die today, as I'm dying, I'm going to say, well, I've done this, 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 and this. Everything's this, this, and this. It'll be easy for Sarani to get through everything in my office, what to do with all the stuff in my office. So that came about by her parents passing away unexpectedly. But we'll cover that. I'm mixing course 16 and course 11. I think we cover that in course 16 soon. Death meditation. How many of you have taken the death meditation course? 2, 3. Well, we can offer it again. It's a weekend course. Yes, Anna? Oh, you've taken it. Okay.
I would love to take this course because I'm really dealing this. I really would love to see ripening the course in the near future. Maybe
well, why don't you find some other students that in your Sangha that want to take it, that speak English to make life easier for me. And we'll arrange a time to teach it. It's a weekend course, a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it's, do you know Joanna?
Prata?
I don't recall her. Yeah?
Yeah, I know her.
Yeah. Well, talk to her and see if there's any interest in a weekend teaching.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, come on, computer. Personal discouragement. I've had this more than once, and I've had the good fortune to have a wonderful wife and wonderful students. such as you to show me that I must work hard at my practice. So getting discouraged, like the friend of mine has been trying to find a spiritual partner for 20 years and hasn't found one yet. I've been lucky. Most of the situations like that for me have ripened in a positive way. Parkinson's has been my biggest challenge. And the days that I don't get discouraged, but I think, well, is this ever going to end? And then I stop and think it could be much worse. And it may well get much worse. But right now I'm still reasonably mobile. I can still use a computer. I can still think. And that would be what would get me discouraged. It's when I can't eat and feed myself. That's not something I'm looking forward to. Although it means plenty of milkshakes, I guess. Okay, Master Shantideva challenges us to start small, offer food, and gradually get to the big stuff like an eyeball. This is a story about a Bodhisattva that was asked to offer his eyeball, and he just popped it out of his head and gave it to the guy. We're not encouraged to do that yet. Apparently you can do that. You can pop your eye out of your eye socket. It's not fun. It tears muscles. But apparently the optical cord is long enough you can actually have it out like a remote camera on your personal computer. Yeah, gives me the willies. So start small. Perfection of giving doesn't mean give away a car or give away your life savings. It means starting small, offering, recognizing a need, and helping to solve it. We used to have a lot more people at the stoplights in town and stop signs. Homeless people that were basically begging for food or money. And what my wife did for quite a while was she would have some canned goods in the car, or when she had an organic garden, she would put the produce from that day, tomatoes or peppers or something. And when she saw someone, she would give them some vegetables or canned goods. Instead of fumbling for money and causing the people behind her to honk their horn because she wasn't moving and the light changed, it made it much easier. Contemplation 4. What causes laziness? What promotes the feeling of laziness is sloth, the sweet enjoyment of some pleasure, as well as a craving for time spent sleeping, all leading to a failure to feel a sense of disgust for the pain of the circle of life. So 3 things that can promote laziness. Indulging in worldly pleasures, excessive sleep, not being fed up with samsara leads to numbers 1 and 2, and you get in this endless loop, and that's where your renunciation has failed. So if you find yourself getting lazy, stop and think of renunciation, what you need to give up to make it along the path. And that means if you like to sleep, there's nothing wrong with liking to sleep, but you don't need 16 hours of sleep a day. I can only sleep that long when I'm sick. But what you can do is take 1 day a week and make that the day you get to sleep in, but only after you've done your practice. See, on that day, you get up, do your practice, and head back to bed. That's something my wife has been known to do on occasion. Lambs to the slaughter. Haven't you even got eyes to see how those in the world with you have gone steadily to the slaughter? To sit here still and enjoy your sleep is just the same as the oxen waiting for the butcher. We see that people die and we just do not get it that we're in that line too, and yet we still sit around wasting time, just as stupid as the cows at the slaughterhouse. I still have time. Death is coming to take you, moving at an incredible speed. In the time you have left, try to amass good karma. When the moment arrives, it's true you may give up your laziness, but what good can it do at a time so wrong? So don't put off your renunciation and changing your pattern of activity. If you put it off, now I'm one to talk. I like to start my new activity at the beginning of the month. So I'm not really following my own medicine. Don't put it off. You haven't got to this just yet. The others just started, and yet another has half still left to go. Suddenly then comes the Lord of Death, makes his arrival, and in your mind you can only cry, he kills me. You don't want on your mind when you die, and we discuss this in the death meditation. You don't want on your mind what you didn't do or what your obligations are. I didn't tell my wife I loved her. I owe Jim Delwich a set of picture clamps from high school. Those are the picture clamps are actually something I realized when I took the death meditation course. So I tracked this friend of mine down and I mailed him the clamps because I didn't want that to pop into my mind when I was dying. This contemplation emphasizes not putting off because you never know when you're going to die. Think of those people in Minnesota. That lady driving the car never thought she was going to get shot. If you've taken a death meditation module, you've been encouraged to think about getting your affairs in order. What it feels like to die. What is it you imagine you do at that moment, tormented by the memory of the wrongs you've done, with the roar of the hell realms in your ears, bringing such terror that you cover your body in shit and reach the depths of insanity? At this point, will you be able to meditate with your POA practice? POA means to send your mind into death with these 5 instructions. On your deathbed, you make the determination you will not lose the wish to help others. So, you're starting to die, you go, I want to help all beings in any way I can. As you begin to be aware that you're going to die, you get yourself so used to the idea of thinking about helping others that when you reach the moment of death, you'll be able to think this way despite the pain and hallucinations that accompany death. Mentally give away everything you have. It's extremely bad karma when you die to have attachment to your possessions or your body or what you used to be. Instead, hope that all sentient beings will happily use your bank account, your house, your body, your things. Happily give up these things. Thoughts of attachment to your family, money, etc. will only negatively affect what you see at death. So, with the death meditation module, you're encouraged to effectively get your affairs in order. Have a will or have instructions. Because when Sumati's parents died, there was a 3-ring binder in the safe with instructions on what to do with each of the life insurance policies, bank accounts, the insurance. Instead of Tom, her oldest brother, having to figure that out, anybody know where mom and dad had their bank accounts? Instead, it was, here's the bank account or accounts. And when you die, if you've done that as you're dying, you think, oh, I've made life very simple for my loved ones. That's the kind of thought you want on your mind when you're dying. Confess and clean out any bad deeds you're aware of, especially vows you broke knowingly. It's very important to die with a clear conscience. As you die, it's going to hurt a lot. There's a special physical pain. You pray that all the bad deeds, mental and physical suffering should come into me and die with me. You dedicate your death to destroying others' bad karma and pain. Then when you die, like Lord Buddha, lay on your right side peacefully with your hand under your head, peacefully. So, if you're really thinking about this, you should sleep on your right side with your hand under your head when you go to bed. So if you die in your sleep, you've died like Lord Buddha did. So another way of dividing karma is into projecting karma, which throws you into your next rebirth. Strongest karma throughout your life is the one likely to come up and project it to your next rebirth. Completing or finishing karma decides the details of the completion karma. 4 permutations of projecting and finishing karma. Good projecting, bad finishing. You have a human rebirth, but you're always sick. Bad projecting and good finishing. You have a hell rebirth, but you're the Lord of hell. Good projecting, good finishing. Human rebirth, become enlightened. Bad projection, bad finishing, a hell rebirth, and endless torment. Four experiences in the process of death. You replay the events of your life, likely all that you did not do, all the bad things you wish you had not done. You get a premonition of the roar of the multiple types of hells and realize the chances are you're headed there. Sincere refuge prayers daily can close the doors to the hell room. Having the direct perception of emptiness can close the doors to the hell realm. You mess yourself, you lose control of your bowels, and you become insane. Your mind is encompassed in an electrical storm as your nervous system collapses. Your mind is still there, but your body is dead. You cannot hold a thought because the basis of thought in this realm is the brain, and it has collapsed. So it's not that the teaching of POA is incorrect. The teaching of POA is only incorrect if you take a POA class for the weekend and then don't do anything with it until you die. It's like the death meditation course isn't worth anything if you don't follow what we teach. You get your affairs in order. You start approaching life with not so much that you could die any minute, but that death is uncertain and you need to be prepared for it. There's a difference to me between thinking I'm going to die today, I could die today, and thinking if I die today, am I ready? There's a subtle difference to me. Three expectations that we have. Happiness is a right. We get it with little effort. We have a right to a house, to a car, to a good job, to a good relationship with our family, our wife, or family and friends. In this country, many people think they have a right to own a house. They don't have a right to own a house. They have the right to drive. They don't have the right to drive. You need to get a license. We do have the right to vote, which is unfortunately coming under some debate in this country. But happiness is not a right. You have to work at happiness. We now know the causes for the above and have no excuse not to earn, not to work for them. We expect to live to a ripe old age with all our faculties. I didn't expect to have Parkinson's or debilitating disease when I reached 70 or whatever age. I thought I was going to be reasonably active and able to do all kinds of cool stuff until I passed away. But can I do everything I was hoping I could do? No. But I can sit here and whine about it, or I can get out as much as I can and travel and do the things I want to do as much as I can while I can still do it. And that's what I'm doing. Our trips to teach in foreign lands, I take it as an adventure. That's what we call it. We're going on an adventure. Or I could say, I can't stand up for very long without crouching over. I need a wheelchair. I can't go up and down stairs. That's all true. But I can take an elevator. I can slowly go upstairs, much to the dismay of many of my students that think I'm going to fall over. But it's the attitude of wanting to do good things for other people that overcomes the attitude of woe is me, I can't do this, I can't do that. My dad got prostate cancer about the same age I did, and he went on an experimental drug test that turns out he got the placebo. So his prostate cancer, he didn't have the prostatectomy, and it spread throughout his body. And he led a pretty miserable final year of his life. When I had prostate cancer, I had the prostatectomy. And so far, I'm cancer-free, at least in the prostate cancer sense. Because I saw the miserable life, an undignified life he had. I didn't want that. My mom was exhausted by it, absolutely exhausted by it. And she was also, Alzheimer's was her problem. When she passed, she had, before the last visit I had with her, she had no idea who I was. I didn't take that as a personal insult. I was just really sad that that would happen. As we age, our ability to cope with pain diminishes and our sensitivity to the pain of death increases. Yikes. We realized all that we could have done but did not and are tormented by it. So I look at this slightly differently. I hope I have the presence of mind to say to myself as I'm dying, this is what I've done, and rejoice in what I've done instead of saying, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. I hope I'm working on having the presence of mind of saying, here it is. Yes, I did some things I shouldn't have done, and I regret that. But the last 15, 20 years of my life, I worked tirelessly to help others on their way to their enlightenment. I'll let you know if that works. I want to become the first person to be able to contact his students and let them know what happens and what happened to me in my death process. The ultimate source of happiness is the Dharma. It is a roadmap. The 5 paths are a roadmap to ultimate happiness. So get serious. It's the little things that count. Doing a non-virtue. I had a student who parked in a handicap zone. It's a $250 fine. She went to the court hearing, and the court judge said, you can do, I think it was 100 hours, 50 hours of community service. And that will erase your judgment, because $250 was a lot of money for her. So she came to me, and I said, sure, yeah, come down and we'll get you this set up, and we'll record the hours and keep track of it, expecting her to fill the full 50 hours. She did about 10 hours and then didn't come down for a few weeks, then called me and said, will you sign the paperwork? And I said, well, Alice, you've only done 10 of the 50 hours. I can't sign the paperwork. I was a little taken aback by the fact that she was asking me to do something that was a non-virtue. Did you just see my body move? I saw it move from about here to here. That's weird. Let me see. I'm going to move it over here. Yeah. See that? That wasn't me. That was the camera moving me in the frame. Well, this is kind of fun. Huh. Welcome to AI. Maybe my wife has that setting on. Oh, you know, if I wasn't the person I hope to be, I could set my wife's camera up to do that on her computer. That would flip her out. But now, thinking of that, shame on me. But that's a great idea. Wow. Sumati, my camera's moving me around. Oh, well. So she had to pay the $250, and I hope she learned a valuable lesson. But never do a non-virtue for somebody else. Never. Because they're going to get the karma for asking you to do it, and you're going to get the karma for doing it. Neither of which you want to let happen. So, Mike, are you enjoying the Thai food? Oh, yum. Send that to my 3D printer. Okay. Well, let me see if I have anything else here. Worldly things distract us from meditation and study and practice. I have a monkey mind. It jumps around all over the place. Yet, being honest with ourselves, we think these 3 things are what bring happiness. Our culture supports and encourages this. Think of all your non-Dharma friends and what they're pursuing. We need to turn our minds, our lives to the joyous virtues of the Dharma. Yes, there are parts of the Dharma that are boring or frustrating. But to not like those is basically to say it doesn't happen in samsara, so it's not fair that it's happening with my Dharma practice. And the other little tidbit, I think, we tend to be pointing out what's wrong in situations like this. And yes, those things are wrong, but really I just focus my attention on the things that are right. Now that I know what I know about the Dharma and believe what I believe in past and future lives, it's up to me. It's up to you. It's in your hands. If you like to sleep in, fine, sleep in one day a week, but get your practice done. If you like to go to movies, too bad, you can't go to any movies anymore. No, I'm kidding. You can go to movies. We try and find movies that have a Dharma message in them. And you'd be surprised how many of these films have. It's hard to find Dharma messages in James Bond films, I will admit that. But have any of you seen the movie Love Actually? Oh, Katya, you've got to see that movie. Love Actually. Hugh Grant is hysterical in it. What's another one? Oh, Princess Bride. Everybody needs to see Princess Bride. That is a remarkable film. The book is even funnier. If you haven't read the book, you need to get the book and read it. It's hysterical. Now, the guy who wrote Princess Bride is the same guy who wrote Marathon Man. And if you haven't seen Marathon Man, don't. It's okay. Well, that's it for today. Let's do a little dedication. Let's see, which one do I want to use today? May the source of benefit and the source of benefit and goodness, the Dharma, spread and expand. May the beings upholding the Dharma have excellent health. May the source of happiness and well-being for all embodied beings, the Dharma taught by the Buddha, always increase. In all my lives, may I never live apart from my perfect lamas. May I bask in the glory of the Dharma. May I fulfill perfectly every level and path and reach then quickly the place where I become myself, the one who holds the Dharma. Okay. We'll see you on Thursday. I don't have any special homework. Well, maybe next class. Okay. Manuel, let me know what if there's a desire to have the death meditation course taught. I'd be honored to do so, and I think it's a lot of fun. Okay. Take care, everybody. Thank you for translating, Shanar. Appreciate it. And bye-bye.
Thank you very much, dear Lama Sumati.
Oh, you and Svetlana had asked about a long life prayer. I do not have one. Usually that has to be written by your heart Lama. I believe some people have asked Geshe Michael to do that, but he hasn't, and it's not something I should ask him for. So it doesn't mean, well, if you guys want to come up with a long life prayer, I don't think that's inappropriate. But it has to be longer than please don't die. Okay. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Please,
Goodbye.
thank you.